In the United States, salmon is the third most consumed fish we have. Where does it come from and how did we get it? It's actually a very dynamic and complex part of the global food system. If we go back about 50 years ago, most salmon came from the Pacific Northwest. A lot of Alaskan salmon was sold into Japan. A lot of fresh product was sold on the West Coast. And here on the East Coast, it mostly came in as canned or frozen. There was a lot of canned products out here. At the end of the 70s, the Norwegians really started to make progress on farming salmon out here in these fjords in Norway. They started shipping fresh salmon into Europe and fresh salmon into the United States. This fresh salmon was high quality and flown here. It outcompeted most of the salmon that was already sold in the United States, especially in the East Coast. However, the production tended to increase very rapidly, and prices really declined at the end of the 80s and into the 90s. The U.S. industry brought a case against the Norwegians and basically pushed them out of the market with a tariff. But no problem for U.S. consumers from salmon because Chile, Canada on the east and west coast scaled up their industry rapidly. This was financed primarily by Japanese, Norwegian, and U.S. money. From there, salmon started coming in from the east coast of Canada, the west coast of Canada, and Chile. And in the mid-80s, the Chileans developed a pin-bone-out, portion-control fillet. This really expanded the market in the east coast and southeast coast. In the meantime, the Alaskans started to get bumped out of the Japanese market because Norwegian salmon started going into Japan, Russian salmon started going into Japan, and Chilean salmon started going into Japan. Then the Alaskans realized in order to compete in the U.S. market, they need to cut their costs of processing. So in recent years, Alaska's been sending up as much as a third of their salmon into China for processing, and then that's sent back and sold in the United States. So we got a very complex and dynamic system here. That's what we're studying at the University of Florida. That's where we're going to be training the next generation of people to understand. Thank you.